Okay, everyone, please join us. Please take your seats. Please take your seats, everyone. So now we have our gold sponsor address. So I kindly request all of you, please take your seats. Please take your seats. All the people standing at the back, please take your seats. All of you out there, please settle down. Please take your seats, all of you. Okay, so now we have gold sponsor address. Okay, everyone, welcome back. We now present a very special address, yes, construction at crossroads, environment, employment, and execution. Please welcome Mr. Gurjot Bhatia, Managing Director, South Asia, Turner and Townsend. Can we have a big round of applause for him, everyone? So here we go. Let's hear from him. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, okay. Good. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'll make it quick because so there are two sessions. So one, this is an interesting topic, so I wanted to talk about it, and then we have a panel discussion right after. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably warm up the room to the idea of what does this mean from my perspective. I'll take about 5 minutes, and then we'll have people who know more about me, more about this topic than I, who will get into a panel discussion. So when I was told that this is the topic I was expected to come and talk about, I was trying to think, why is this important? Well, I've been told that this is a topic of interest. Why is this a topic of interest today? And so I tried to find my own reason why this is important, and I'll share some of my thoughts and ideas with you why I found this reason, this important. And I'll start with to talk about something which is, important. A basic building block of construction. To talk about something which is, right? We can't something do without it. Everything involves a basic building block of construction. So I was checking talk about something which is, why are we saying we can't something without it? So thanks to ChatGPT, I found out that the cement consumption in India in 2025 was 442 or 445 million tons, which is the second largest consumption in the world. And what this 442 million tons of cement means is 3.78 billion tons of concrete. So that's the amount of concrete that India poured last year, as per ChatGPT. I don't have any other way to find out, right? So I have a disclaimer there. Which means in context of what it means is 15 to 17 million 1,000 square feet houses can be made with that kind of concrete, or 150,000 kilometers of multi-lane highways can be built with that amount of concrete. And this consumption in India is second only to China, which by the way we all know has been crazily constructing over the last 25, 30 years. And there's been a bit of a slowdown in that market, but still their consumption last year was 4 times of what we consume. So we are number 2. And then almost 3 times or 4 times lower than us is US, which is about 100 to 110 million tons, and then followed by Europe and then Middle East and Africa. So just hold this thought when what I spoke about in terms of the cement consumption. And I'll flick a few slides quickly. In interest of time, I'll keep it very quick. Just can we, am I able to do that or? Okay. I want to share a few studies. Okay, I'm not going to say anything which you will think which you don't know. So, and you're all experts in this field. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to shine the light on the fact why construction is at crossroads. And when we say something is at crossroads, means that we are at a very pivotal moment, and the decisions we take today can take us in one direction versus the other. So it's all in our hand, as all of us are involved with real estate construction and sitting in this room today. So you'll see some statistics there. You can read it. I've shared this with the organizers. They can share it with you as well, some of these statistics, if it is of interest to you. And the thing that subsequently the panel will also talk about is environment, employment, and execution. So I urge you to just read the headlines. The construction industry will continue to grow. At the same time, the chronic bottleneck is that 40% of our major infrastructure projects are behind schedule, and cost overruns are huge. The recorded cost overrun is reaching about 5.5 lakh crores. What do we need to do? And by the way, this was a longer speech, but I've kept it short because we'll have an interesting panel discussion after this. Again, huge contribution to India's GDP, 9%. And the interesting fact is the point number 2. So while the direct contribution is 9%, but the intrinsic contribution is 2 or 3 times of that, which is huge, because the amount of jobs it creates, the amount of opportunities it creates. And I witnessed the earlier session where people are all talking about startups and AI, utilization of AI technology and everything. So the connotations and the contributions and the connections that construction, real estate will have so many other fields, including technology, is ever going to grow. So it's no longer just going to be restricted to the 4 walls of the proverbial building, but actually it will be reaching out to, and imagine more use of AI and technology in construction means more use of data centers. So we need more data centers to cater to construction. So that's one direct linkage you can think about. Again, the economic scale is huge. The social significance, of course, from an employment perspective and driving urbanization is huge. And obviously, it's a direct contributor to the growth of our country. Speaking about sustainability, of course, use of smart materials, circular economy, energy efficient design, decarbonization, etc., will be discussed in the, hopefully, maybe picked up in the future panel. I'll skip the next slide and I'll come to this. I just want to, why I gave the example earlier about the usage of concrete and cement in the country. And I now want to talk about some metrics, which is from our CBRE market outlook of 2025. And since we track the various sectors that contribute to real estate and hence construction, on the real estate side, there's stupendous growth happening in data centers. I'll talk a little bit more in detail about data centers right after this. Industrial and sciences, urban development, and of course, occupiers. We have a lot of global organizations setting footprint, expanding footprint in our country, especially in the major cities. And of course, infrastructure, aviation, this thing about 35 to, many more airports that are being built across the country or will be built in the next few years. We have waterways that we will work with. We have ports to work on, railways, which owns a lot of land itself, and on energy and natural resources. A country of more than 1.4 billion population, our need for energy is ever going to grow. It's never going to fall short for the next many years to come. So, and I want to share some statistics to, and we have some numbers there as far as the growth or the split that you see in the major sectors of residential, industrial, and primarily on the office side. The demand over the last 2 years has been pushed in major top 5 or 7 cities from the advent of global capability centers. I'm sure all of you are aware of it. So about 30 to 40% of grade A real estate that is getting consumed in India today is on account of GCCs coming into India, which are tech companies and also banking and financial organizations. And of course, 1.4 billion people will fall sick, need hospitals, need nursing homes, and so on and so forth, and need malls to go and shop, and need food outlets to go and eat, etc. Just want to share some statistics. On the residential side, India constructed or added more than 237,000 new residences in 2025. 61 million square feet of new commercial real estate, office real estate was added in 2025. And the absorption was even more. We are still, we're still tracking the numbers, but it will land up somewhere around 80 to 85 million square feet of grade A office absorption across India in 2025. 65 million square feet of industrial and 42 million square feet of warehousing. Talking only about data centers, and I hope all of you are watching that space, is all the data center in terms of capacity that India has built till date, total to about 1.3 gigawatts, right? That is what we built, and those are the operating capacity of the data centers that we have across India today, majorly housed in Navi Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad now, a little bit in Bangalore, and Noida, closer to where we are. In 2026, this will go to 1.7 gigawatts. So imagine in the last ever, it has come to 1.3 gigawatts. Within this year, it will go to 1.7. And by next year, 2027, this will go to 2 gigawatts. But I can assure you, while these are the statistics I have, it will be more than 2 gigawatts, because we're working with many customers and clients who have extremely ambitious plans to open data centers in India. And why this will continue to grow, of course, is India is not only reacting or catering to the demand for what's outside, but also our internal demand. Companies are now needing to address the issues of latency, because in every second tier, third tier city, town, village, people are using data. So you need to have the availability of data, the resilience of data closer to where the demand is. And the demand is everywhere. It's not confined to major cities anymore. So we will need more types of data centers to go across all the country, to secondary cities, etc., and so on and so forth. And the overall, if today's data center business in India was to be valued, it would be at around 9.79 billion US dollars. And it is projected to reach to a market valuation of $21 billion by 2031. So basically, I wanted to share all this data with you, as I said, to shine the light on the topic of discussion that we are at crossroads. And when I was wanting to find the reason behind why this topic is important, the reason is we are at crossroads because we are building more than we have ever done in the last, forever in our country. And the two examples I gave you were, one was the statistics that I just gave to you across the different sectors, and one was the basic building material, which is cement and concrete. There's so much demand that is there in the country. So we are at crossroads, needless to say. And it's upon us what is the direction we take from here. Because, and the one thing that in my personal view, that stands with, and the panel I'm sure will talk about, and I know there's going to be discussion about Grab, there's going to be discussion about policy, there's going to be discussion about, Grameen and many other things which are absolutely important to be discussed and, and spoken about. But in my mind, and that is something that I, as a business leader of our firm today, am grappling with on a day-to-day basis, which is capacity. The big challenge that we have in our country today is building capacity, having people or technology, if technology is the answer to people, to be able to cater to all the demand that sits within a country today for all the work that we need to do, whichever side of the table we sit on, whether you're a project manager, cost manager like me, you're an owner, you're a consultant, you're an architect, you're an engineer, you're a digital solution provider, BIM engineer, whatever you are. Capacity is key. So I would urge the rest of the discussion of the panel to also dwell a little bit on how do we share thoughts in this room on how are we going to build capacity in order to cater to the demand. And that is where, and along with it, all the other important things, and including the use of technology, which can take us in the right direction, where we leverage the opportunity that we have in our country today with so much requirement, and we are able to grow the overall economy and grow along with us as far as all of us professionals are concerned. So with that, I'll stop and I'll hand it over to the panel to take this discussion forward. So thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Now we have a panel discussion too, yes, and the topic is construction at the crossroads, the impact of GRAP, Grameen and public policy on sustainability and labor dynamics. We invite our distinguished panelists. I kindly request Mr. Suraj, Ms. Shruti Arora, Mr. Manan Gupta to please join us. And would also request our moderator, Ms. Vinita Hariharan, to please join us. Can we have a big round of applause for them, all of you? Over to our moderator.
So thank you, and it's a full house after lunch. Interesting to see the energy, and the energy in the morning was also quite, brimming with a lot of energy and young people here, the startup world and the AI world, and from there we transit to the brick and mortar world. Very well explained by Mr. Bhatia about how important still construction industry is to the ecosystem that we are. It's not just about the virtual world, it's also the real world. And civil engineers and constructors and realtors are still very, very much needed, although they may not be in the forefront of the social media or the new age media, but we still are the most wanted professionals, perhaps. And very impressed by Agni and the alumni association that NECMAR is running. Gives other alumni also. I'm an alumni of the School of Planning and Architecture, and I think gives us a lot of cues to how we can run our alumni as well to build this world and to expand this world of constructors and realtors and the infrastructure space. So coming without much ado, we'll come to the topic of discussion, which is construction at the crossroads, impact of GRAP, Grameen and public policy on sustainability and labor dynamics. Context well set by Mr. Bhatia already. To see the gravitas and the impact and the importance of the construction industry and the kind of uptake that the construction industry will still have in the years to come. But today we'll be discussing about how this is actually linked to the ecosystem that is there, so to speak. That's what public policy does actually. It bridges the, space between the industry and the government and the policies that are formulated from time to time for various sectors. And whatever you say, the government and the policies and the public the space, whatever happens in that public space impacts every sector, including the construction industry, and therefore it's very important to connect with the government and the policies that are framed from time to time. So on the first round, we'll talk about GRAP, which is something that we're all grappling with, the air pollution. We've just come out of one of the darkest seasons of the times, I think. And we've all suffered. Our lungs have gone for a toss with all the pollution reaching sky high the last winter. And so GRAP was an ad hoc reactive measure. It was an enforcement measure done to the construction industry. But ironically, the construction industry really does not contribute so much to the air pollution as in terms of the percentage of the pollutants in the air that is contributed by the construction industry. But yes, this was the easiest to knock on and to arrest, and so the GRAP was imposed. So, maybe I'll start with Suraj from that side and come here. So when GRAP halts construction, so how do you protect the labor continuity, the contractor morale, and the ROI discipline? Because you've been in the space of hospitality and other infrastructure for a long time.
Hi, good afternoon to all. So, working in NCR for now almost 2 decades now, so I have seen how it has evolved, and especially with the GRAP, which has become more and more stringent in the last 4-5 years. If I give you some stats, then in last 3 years, the average GRAP 3 and above, which is where the construction industry is hit the hardest, is almost 40 days. So if in a year 40 days is an average where the construction industry is affected and the work stops, for a very large mid-scale project which takes 4 to 5 years, that is almost 12% of your project schedule gone for a toss. So basically, if we have to build a complex project here in Delhi, then we have to accommodate 12% of the project schedule timelines, which are at the big risk. So that is something now we have been accustomed to. So we have baked it into our schedule, into our costs as a client. But then for the laborers, it's not an easy task because they have to stay put. The contractor cannot allow them to go back to their hometowns. So how do we engage them? So to answer this question, I would say there's some other things which we are doing and some of the things which are desirable. So one is to ensure that there is a labor continuity. First is the wages. So it has to be ensured that the wages to them are paid. It should not happen that the subcontractor or the contractor is not paying them in time. So obviously then they will go. Then it is also an opportunity wherein a lot of training tasks can be taken up. So when there is a stoppage of work and the labor is not at site, they'll be at the labor camp. And at the labor camp, they can be sensitized about their rights. Government has brought out a lot of initiative and schemes about which labor, which is like invisible task force in the government registry, as well as sometimes in the site labor card as well. So they have to be made aware. This is opportunity for training where they have to be trained with new trades. Maybe a junior carpenter can learn some skill and become a good carpenter during that time. Some health benefits can be passed on to them. Medical checkups can be done. But I think the most important part is the wage part, wherein as a client, we have to ensure that they are being paid and they are not missing out because of a regulation, which is not because of their lifestyle or result of what they could have easily avoided. So I think this is where it becomes very important. Then for a contractor morale, I think contractor already bakes in this in the price. So I have been speaking, in fact, when this question was floated, I checked in with some of the contractor as well. So they were very candid in saying that they are baking in all this cost already, because they know that they are working here and they will be affected by 40, 50 days of no work. So all the prices that we are getting as a client is already baking in all this cost. In terms of ROI for a project, I don't think this is something which is accommodated for. The only good silver lining is sometimes the banks and the authorities. So we are doing a very large hotel in AeroCity, wherein Dial is one of the clients. So they do understand this pain point, and they are accommodative there. So that is how we mitigate the ROI part of it somehow.
Thank you. So I think GRAP is also should be taken as a force majeure clause now, and clients have to factor it in. And since the government has actually imposed this, we should also look at whether public policy can bring out some kind of welfare measure for the gig workers and the contract laborers during such enforcement measures. Shruti, to you now, in terms of digital governance, this entire government is the foundation of our Viksit Bharat narrative is the digital governance and the digital continuity. So you think we can do something in terms of digital space, so wherein we can kind of maybe predict such measures and predict such eventualities? So what about those views on that?
Sure, thank you. I think there's a lot that can be done. GRAP is not something new. I think, as Suraj was mentioning, clients are used to it, contractors are, the entire ecosystem knows that it is going to happen. And yet, it is still, as you mentioned, it is still a reactive measure.
Right.
Why is it still a reactive measure? And I think that's where we see there is a space for technology, what can be done. We know it is going to happen at certain points in time. We have highly skilled environmentalists, we have forecasting models, we have technology, and etc. So what is it that we can do in terms of what are the forecasting technologies, modeling technologies, where we can say, okay, if this is the same. And as you mentioned, this graph is not construction generated. There are a lot of external factors which are within the city or outside of city, and currently it's only Delhi, but it could soon be applicable to other, and we heard about the level of construction that is required. So having said that, there is environmental modeling that is being done, monitoring of air quality is being done. How can we leverage that information into predictive forecasting? Secondly, all construction sites need to report on air quality monitoring. We have sensors across the cities, etc. So there is a lot of data and information available. What we need is a technology which assimilates all that data and is able to give you a more predictive, a more certain information that can help you say, okay, we are now expecting, is it 40 days, is it 30 days? Do I need to stop all the sites altogether? Is there something else in terms of like construction? If construction is not the major contributor, is logistics the contributor? Are some industries the contributor? So can we have these focused measures and policies rather than just a blanket coverage saying nothing is going to happen? So how can we make it more efficient is something that technology can certainly help. Again, as I said, data is there, capability is there. How do we match that?
Right. It's about integrating also. I think data plays a good role in integrating all aspects, including the costing aspects, perhaps, along with predictions. Yeah, sure. So, Manan, being an ICMARian, so I'll perhaps frame a question on how, we could integrate this in continuation to the digital platforms that we're talking about, integrate such kind of force measures like GRAP into the project planning aspects of any construction project.
Actually, before that, I would like to share some information which is presently being implemented in Mumbai. So there on all the, it's a recent integration which has happened. So all the construction sites have been asked to have a monitoring, pollution monitoring of different pollution, whatever is happening, and it has been implemented as well on all the projects.
Okay.
And now that is being connected centrally by BMC, and the entire data of all the projects is going to BMC on a real-time basis.
Yeah.
So so what happens as an outcome of that is, you as a construction site owner, get to know what is happening on your side. You are wanting that no notification should be coming to your side, so you are definitely taking care of what can be the bare minimum things, that having water guns and basic things which otherwise we know that this should be done, but then we have an inherent thing that chalta hai attitude. That thing is changing.
Right.
There has been a good amount of change in construction sites which are being implemented, and that data is getting collated together, and probably as a result of that, it may have an impact in terms of policy, because policy can be built up on the basis of some data, right? So, and planning is something which can be done. I mean, because presently, like what is happening in Delhi, it is not. It is going haywire.
Right.
I mean, suddenly once in a matlab nobody is ready, and it just happens. A notification comes, and then you just have to have a hard stop. So planning can be done only if their data is there. Then you can plan. Otherwise, planning is a difficult thing. You can just then plan for force measures.
Right, absolutely. So I think that is a very good example of measuring every data point on which is the most polluting, component, be it material or be it construction technology. I think that can flow into this integrated database, and with that we can actually, perhaps like you said about capacity, Mr. Bhatia just mentioned about capacity. So Mumbai Municipal Corporation is one of the most vibrant local bodies in India. So they are actually monitoring all of this, is very interesting and good to know that. But I think then, something can be devised so that the projects which are not so polluting, there could be graded grading of all these projects, and then maybe just like the certifications, they can be given some kind of subsidy or support or incentive.
Is a good motivation,
Incentive.
which can be there.
Yes.
As in, I mean, there has to be motivation of doing something
Right,
good.
like a carrot and stick policy. It's a very interesting thing. So which is this project that was taken as a pilot?
No, it's implemented all
across the,
Mumbai.
okay, great.
So,
Okay.
and it is a very recent thing. In last one and a half month only it has really
Okay.
been implemented. So
Great.
if you go across Mumbai, you will find on all the project sites there is a pollution monitoring.
Monitoring, okay, great. So now coming to you, Mukesh. So since you're from Ecom and technology is the buzzword for you, so in terms of greening of our construction sites and our projects, there are a lot of efforts going on in the country towards greening, and the platinum rated buildings and all of that are there. But they're still not the norm, right? It's still to be scaled up, and are these just iconic standalone projects? And when will those get integrated so that we don't need GRAP to be imposed on any construction site?
It's really good to see that GRAB is linked to the sustainability, but there is some catch also, because GRAB is thing which is happening for 2 months maximum in a year. And sustainability is such a thing which is required in the blood of construction industry. So taking GRAB in picture, I believe it's not only thing which should be considered that this is going to give a sustainability. Yes, it is giving a good awareness to the at least contractor कि काम सही नहीं किया या pollution वाला काम किया, तो we get a penalty for that. So that GRAB is AQI measured, I say enforcement. As the AQI increase, you stop the work. And then construction as well as NCR is concerned, the way government has increasing the infrastructure projects and building projects in Delhi NCR, it's huge. And as an accumulation of total volume, if I say, it's really that time taking breath that time in those duration is like taking poison itself. Okay, so therefore, a lot many you might have seen the newspaper 20 cigarette for a day. Yeah, so that sort of thing it's happening. So I say sustainability and GRAB is little just awareness point of view. As I told, it's good, but unless we implement green building concept and more incentive for that. So whosoever do the green building concept and implement from day one, because it has to be implemented at the initiation of the project itself. Till that, this pollution aspect or construction, which is creating a nuisance, air, water, and I say noise also, that is not easily debarred. But good part, I say overall in pan-India basis, lot many construction industries, they are going for at least IGBC or Griha rating 3 level. So that is a good thing, I say government has started. Government has given some good incentive also initially to the people who are going for green building construction. And one good part, our company is associated with one of the national pride project, Central Vista, and one more project in Delhi. So in that area, we have working with 3 different technology. One is precast, another is normal aluminum shuttering, and third is our PT slabs, conventional type. So what we have seen is all these 3 get banned during this GRAP. It's not which technology we are using, because everywhere construction means pollution. So it's very important to inculcate in contractor mindset that this is not just for 2 months. It should be controlled for entire duration of the construction. Then only we can able to achieve this pollution, lesser pollution or sustainable construction. So my understanding for that is, though government has started taking action, but instead of taking only for 2 months, it's better to take the action for entire months or decades, so that mindset generate in the
Absolutely. No, I think proactive measures are very important, and to have sustainable development. And as you mentioned about the ratings, the Griha buildings and all, so maybe it should go back to the building rules and of the particular municipality, and they make it compulsory, at least not for all the components, but at least some of their components can be made mandatory, that you use certain aspect of your construction should be green technology, using green material. Or
very correct. I think in government projects only itself, the government not sanction any budget unless until you are showing that is a Griha 3 rating.
Right.
So that is an important part for government project at least.
Right.
As government project not directly doing the project, they are doing through the contractors. The contractor has to obey those things,
right,
and they have to implement all this Griha rating.
So it's good to see there is some movement, but I think it needs to be scaled up rapidly, and that public policy plays a big role in actually seeing how it can be scaled up to the size of the Indian subcontinent. So now coming to the next topic, so GRAP has been talked about and discussed. So I think all of us have given some case studies about how, the construction industry is grappling with GRAP and such measures. And so I think all of this can be integrated using data as the new oil, and, tying up all of these data points, as Manan mentioned, about measuring the pollution at different points in the construction sites across Mumbai. That can be replicated in all other cities and across India. And like Shruti mentioned about data, tying up all of these things, and so that it becomes a tool for the policymakers to predict such eventualities, and to also for the construction industry as well, so that they can be prepared for such measures. And of course, as Suraj mentioned about the ROIs and how we could use this time effectively for skilling, and also how do we protect the wages. So that also gives a food for thought for policymakers and for decision makers in the government, whether they need to subsidize also the construction industry to a certain extent when they enforce such measures, which is also a result of the the lack of enforcement that has actually led to such severe air pollution distress in the city. So we move to the next aspect, which is Grameen. Just the G is similar, but otherwise it's a very different topic about the rural development, and how rural India has actually been has actually taken over urban India in some ways, in many ways, because especially from the government's point of view, rural India is very, very important. Grameen Bharat is extremely important for the policies, and all the subsidies and all these, the funding goes to the rural sector. So I had the opportunity of designing and leading a mission called the Urban Mission, where we were trying to make rural India self-sufficient so that this distress migration is prevented from urban urban to rural, from rural to urban, sorry, so that cities are not overburdened. So that was the mission, wherein we had chosen 300 clusters of Grama Panchayats across India, and we were trying to give them all the amenities, basic social, digital, and economic amenities, so that they're self-sufficient, and people over there can work where they are. So that is the concept that the government is also working on largely, where the urban continuums or the peri-urban areas are also given a lot of importance and impact. And many of these rural areas, although they were urban in nature, they didn't want to get converted to a town or an urban nomenclature because they would miss out on all the subsidies. So that's another irony of our country, that many rural areas which are actually urban in nature are still rural. So, considering that context in which Grameen India is so important, Suraj, we'll start with you. You've been in the hospitality industry for a long time, and also in the health sector, right? Hospital infrastructure as well. Yeah. So when we talk of Tier 2 and Tier 3 and rural India, so you think that whole concept of making them as important or as bustling as the prime movers, which are the mega cities and the metropolitan cities, is a reality in terms of, one is the hospitality, the hotel industry, and the second is, of course, the hospital industry, the health sector. Because health sector is still, I think, a lot more needs to be done in terms of the availability of hospitals in every district, in every Grama Panchayat.
So if you see over the last 5 years, there have been a lot of development which has moved into the Tier 2 and Tier 3, mainly Tier 2 towns like Lucknow, Bhopal, Indore, Pune. Pune is a metro now, but a few years back it was in Tier 2. So a lot of hospitals have come up. In fact, in Lucknow you have a Medanta now, you have a Max now, Dehradun you have a Max now. So a lot of big brand hospitals have come into these towns. In terms of hotels also, some of these towns are doing phenomenally well. Ayodhya is a new booming sector. Religious tourism is taking India by storm, and a lot of big brands are trying to be there. But having said that, in terms of the impact on the migration, still, if you see in construction, we can, if I talk from the hospitality experience, we can split it into semi-skilled and unskilled. So for a semi-skilled, getting these development in Tier 2 towns and Tier 3 towns helps a lot, because then there are a lot of security guards that are required. There are housekeeping staff, there are janitors that are required. So then it allows them to be close to their home. Their quality of life substantially improves because they're being close to home, they're not paying the rentals, and the big companies are paying good wages. They don't compromise. It may be 10 to 15% less than a metro, but then still it's good enough. So for them, the quality of life improves, and then there is an incentive for the family to train themselves. They can go into hotel management, and where they can do these small courses. But this was a semi-skilled. But if you come to the unskilled, there is still a very large population that is coming from the villages. And they are also dedicated to zones like Bihar. Malda labor is very famous in construction because they're very hardworking, they do a lot of work. From Odisha, a lot of labor comes in. So they still are migrating. And I don't think anything we are doing or anything in the near future which is going to stop this. It impacts all the construction sites, be it hospitality, real estate, because they are seasonal labor. They go back for the harvest. They go back for all the festival, Chhat. So this is a very, very common pain point for anyone in the industry. They know that this is the time now. Holi is coming in. We know that half the labor will be gone. So this migration is very real. What this development of Tier 2, Tier 3 has done is they have created a good opportunity in the semi-skilled spaces. In the metros, the skilled tradesmen like a carpenter, the fitter, a professional foreman, they are not migrating. They have made metros their base, and because they get the work. Now the problem with the Tier 2, Tier 3 towns is the work is not always available. You may have a very large Medanta coming up, but after that there is no project of that scale. So the continuity is not there. So the migration is something which is inevitable right now, I think.
Right, and then we have MG Narega to fill in the Gramji, right, the new Gramji project, which gives them the wages in the other time. So, but of course that's not the solution. Giving free wages or giving 100 days of labor wages is not the solution for a country like India, which is fastest growing economy. So we need to move out of the subsidy culture. And also, speaking about the kind of seasonal work that they have in the rural areas, which doesn't keep them incentivized to stay there for long. So I take the example of Kerala, where I hail from. So we have a lot of labor coming in from Odisha and West Bengal, and saying that the wages here are in Kerala are so high, so they come there. For them, it's a Dubai of India. And then they stay in these horrible camps, labor camps, which are so. I had visited the labor camps once on a project and saw the pitiable conditions in which they live, in which they're housed, given by the government. But then they're happy. They say that we save so much money. We go by flight once a year to our natives, and we go with a lot of gifts to our families. So then, this came to a point where I thought maybe we should talk about parity of labor wages across the country, and then it was taken up at the highest level in the government. I think they're still working on it, giving parity of wages across the country, which will perhaps prevent such distress migration to happen.
Right now, in fact, there is a big wage difference between the states.
Yeah.
And that's also one of the incentives for them to migrate.
Right. Absolutely. So that's coming in soon. We'll have parity of wages also coming in soon, hopefully. So Shruti, you've also worked in the infrastructure space as well, apart from, before you moved to Accenture and all. So in terms of infrastructure, when we need to have this decentralized infrastructure availability across rural areas, what are your views on how India is, where India is at the moment in that respect?
Right, thanks. I think there's a lot that's happening over here. If I take airports or metros as an example, we've seen how it was only in the metropolitan cities, how it's gone to tier 2 cities, etc. We have airports which are coming across, and whether they're viable or not viable, that's another thing. But that you see a demand and you see a service supply, which is happening. And I think those are starting of decentralization. A lot of hubs are also coming. I think one of the reasons is also availability of land. I think that the dearth of land is now driving corporates into looking at other options as well, cheaper options. So it is helping to a large extent. And also if we look at labor, supply of workforce, etc., the cost of living for people is becoming better. So if you go to a Visakhapatnam or a Bhubaneswar versus Mumbai or Delhi, everything becomes cheaper for the service, for the corporates as well as for the workforce. So, however, the inertia to move still remains. So I think decentralization is helping to a large extent. It is happening in bits and pieces. It started off, but it cannot be in isolation. You still need to have that connectivity. You still need to have the entire social infrastructure around it. You can't just build assets. You can't just build logistics parks and SEZs and not have the social infrastructure. Right. I think that needs to kind of collaborate with the other infrastructure. And also connectivity need not be so far off. We see the RRTS, which has just done. So it's connecting all the kind of other cities within a range of, let's say, 80 or whatever kilometers. You have people who can come down from Meerut easily in a couple of hours, do morning up and down. I think those are also elements of decentralization just by providing connectivity, faster and efficient connectivity. So I think that those kind of things will help people not to shift. It will ease your pressure on the cities, but decentralization also, on the other hand, does not necessarily mean that the migration will not happen, because wherever that's happening, it's important to, while you're creating a particular asset, for the community at large, it's important to create opportunity at a larger level, which is what I'm saying, a social and economic opportunity. So there are a certain class of people or a certain level of people who may still want to move out, as you were saying, semi-skilled and skilled or unskilled labor. For them, it's not really how much decentralization may be able to add any benefit to them, but definitely I think gradually this will help ease the pressure uniform development, but it has to be integrated to a large
Right,
extent.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So the
thank
very good point raised in terms of decentralization along with centralization in terms of connectivity, because like you mentioned, the logistic park and the SEZs. One of the reasons why SEZs also did not take off in India is perhaps this, where a lot of them are many places it's taken off well, but many of them are isolated white elephant projects. Investments done by the government but gone wasted. Just large tracts of land lying unutilized, underutilized.
To that extent, I think Mundra Port, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at the location, it's in the middle of nowhere when it started,
Right.
nothing around it.
Right.
But they've really invested in creating a township over there, right?
Right.
So, and similarly, you see where large-scale steel or aluminum plants, they create a township. So the entire infrastructure needs to be created for people to be able to want to go and live.
Right,
So,
right. With mega infrastructure, I think these kind of social amenities follow, but it needs to be also with smaller, middle-scale projects as well. So, Manu, just continuing the conversation in terms of tier 2 and tier 3 construction industry, it's still the kind of the growth spikes that you see in the metro cities versus the tier 2, tier 3. What are your views on that? Like, are they still the construction industry is pacing up there as well, or is the demand still only in the metropolitan cities?
I guess demand of construction is there all over.
All over.
However, the large scale infrastructure projects which are happening is concentrated in metro cities. Like recently it was notified in Mumbai that Mumbai will be in this budget. It has come that it has the amount of around 60 to 70% of the budget of the BMC will be put in infrastructure development of Mumbai. So that is the humongous amount of infrastructure growth which will happen over there. So there will be definitely pockets of infrastructure growth which is going to happen. However, all over there is. So I mean, it is very interesting that construction sector in totality, if we are talking construction only, is contributing around about 9% to India's GDP.
Right, you just mentioned, yeah.
And if we are including real estate as well, then it is around 15%. And it is one of the most highest contributor to GDP, the sector, than any other sector.
Okay.
Right? That is something to look into. So the amount of, and that is going to grow. That is going to grow because the gap of infrastructure which is in India is huge. And that amount of money which is going to flow in, it is very important that infrastructure which is getting created has to be of a certain quality.
Yeah.
And quality can be achieved only if planning of those infrastructure is done in that way. And that is where the this understanding of labor movement comes into. I mean, it is not directly related, but indirectly related. That that labor movement needs to be understood appropriately, and that's why policy around that has to be built in that way, so that one can forecast those things, make it a part of that, and the infrastructure which is getting created is of that level that it is going to stay for another 60, 70 years.
Right, right. Right. So it's greenfield versus brownfield. So we still have large tracts of land in the peripheral areas which can be developed into very sustainable townships. So but and otherwise like Delhi, because there is this whole movement in Delhi to deconstruct the entire Delhi and go high rise, with the FAR being revised, and Delhi is going to go high rise from low rise. So that then again spikes the construction industry demand in metropolitan cities. Otherwise, metropolitan cities have saturated, or in Mumbai, the MADA buildings, it's high time they deconstruct and reconstruct MADA buildings in Maharashtra, in Mumbai as well. So I think those kind of work we'll see happening in the metropolitan cities, but otherwise new constructions, we'll see it happening in the rural and suburban areas perhaps.
Actually, it's the infrastructure, I mean roads, highways, bridges,
Right.
metros, airports.
Right.
This is where the major, I mean, building component, that is a real estate component, is a part. But this is
Roads
the
and-
infrastructure development which is going to happen. That is the humongous amount of
Sure.
money which is going to.
Right. So there's this famous question, chicken and egg, which comes first, infrastructure or development? So it's always a cycle. Mukesh, coming to you about, again, infrastructure and in terms of, technology, like you said, the prefab technology. So this kind of technology, if it's scaled up across India, I think that will also help in us, spreading balanced development across India in a faster manner. Because such technologies to reach a far-flung rural areas, you think we are still there or yet to get there?
First of all, before this, I just want to say something about tier 2 and tier 3 cities, because government, this budget, if you see, they have given a special budget of 5,000 crores for rural economy zone something.
Right, yes.
So that is a big thing which is government is also looking
Right.
for. And if you see the problem at metro cities, it is basically urbanization, more urbanization. People are coming towards metros for working requirement. And saying that there is अच्छा पैसा मिलता है यहाँ पर, है ना? So that is what the thing is. If we have a good connectivity, as all the panelists are saying, if we have a good connectivity transit facility from tier 2 city to metro cities, or some more infrastructure at tier 2 city, definitely that will give a better opportunity to people to work there itself, or not to migrate in metro cities. So I say sustainable construction, as you asking for in these tier 2 city, definitely there is a good scope, and government also going to give incentive to them, because what I have seen, because I am Delhi from near Jaipur area, what I have seen, the green building concept at Jaipur outer is more prevalent than Delhi. So that is a good part, I say, ki it's very easy to say new construction where new brown or greenfield development is going on in tier 2, tier 3. We can directly impose for practicing green building concepts, so that at least not 100%, at least 60-70% green building concept will come. And as far as technology is concerned, I say ki now builders are using fastest technology, which is best possible. So prefab is also one of the part which is nowadays getting focused, and but conventional shuttering like aluminum framework is the most thing, where we have 7 to 10 day cycle for construction one slab to another slab. So that is also a faster way, and we have seen that if government implement, I have just gone through few initiative in the budget from the government. There are some Udan scheme where they are looking for aviation connectivity with the smaller cities, and they have railways and transport also facilities. Even Bharat Net is one of the things which they are promoting in tier 2, tier 3. So I say that government is looking a better way, and I really say the person who are here and doing their own setup, so they should focus on tier 2, tier 3 cities, because there are lot many things. 5,000 crore is not small thing. 5 years they have to work on this, and similarly other 7 or 8 schemes are going on which they are working for. It's better to, I say, if we implement green building concept and sustainable concept itself in the contract, definitely tier 2, tier 3 is the right place where we can think about greener Bharat and reduce the carbon footprint.
Absolutely. I think startups are also a good way of contributing to greening, because they stay where they are and you can function from whichever remotest rural area, and with our digital Wi-Fi spreading Bharat BroadNet. spreading across the country. I think it's facilitated a lot of movement in the remote areas as well. So the last round, which is the public policy round, I'll convert that into rapid fire. Reminded there's just 5 minutes left. So, so starting with Suraj, what do you think one policy reform that you would want in your sector?
I think it is connecting it to the GRAP. I think it's important to have an escrow kind of an account for labor welfare as well, where in case of any regulation which is disrupting the work, at least the labor wages is guaranteed. And I think it has to be linked with there is a government, I forgot the name, there's a government scheme. Last year, government did pay to the registered laborers 5,000 rupees during GRAP. So until and unless there is a card made for each and every migratory, the labor, they are missing out on all these payments, which government scheme is there, but they are not able to leverage it.
Right.
So there has to be some form of mechanism wherein they have a card, they're aware of their rights, and they are able to get that benefit.
There is a card which is not being used at. There is a digital platform where they can register, the gig workers can register.
But I'm sure more than 60-70% are not able to register or not aware of how the registration takes place.
I understand. Shruti, what about you? One policy reform that you would recommend to the government for overall infrastructure development for the country?
What I would say is in terms of like if you're looking at sustainability, etc. So we were working with one of the contractors, and we were trying to sell them the concept of sustainability, and he says, what is it in it for me, right? I'm going to spend, let's say, 5 or 2, even 2% of my revenue on sustainability. Am I going to get an advantage in government contracts or anywhere? Is my client going to pay? I think somewhere those kinds of, we worked on sustainability policy globally also. Sustainable parameters are now being incorporated in evaluation of public bids, right? So what is the E component? What is the social component? What is the governance component that you have built in your project, right? So if you're doing a construction project, what is it that you're going to give back to the community? As he was saying, is it going to be worker compensation? Is it going to be capacity building? Is it going to be the family or social infrastructure? What is it going to provide? And they do a rating and ranking, and which then at least gives incentive to the sector. And this could be any, I'm not saying just construction. But if this starts getting at least prominence and it's a directive, so rather than a push, it'll suddenly become a pull exercise. So perhaps those are avenues that we need
not
to
just
look
the 2% blanket, that use of your profits go to CSR, really, but it has to have...
We know how that is working. That's not, but in terms of winning, so that's kind of a financial requirement, but I'm saying as a project, in my project, ISO certification became mandatory, right? You can't win a project if you don't. Similarly, if you have a minimum score or something like that, so perhaps those.
Manan, since you also represent HOSMAC, what do you suggest for the hospital industry or for the hospital health sector in general for India? A lot of work being done by the government, but still your recommendation as a policy reform.
I won't just comment on hospital or healthcare in particular. I would just want to comment on 2% thing. See, coincidentally, I'm also into green building consultancy, done a number of projects. So the experience of working in this sector, green building sector for last 17 odd years is the cost, there is no incremental cost as such. What Griha or LEED or IGBC would say for the construction industry is already written in NBC. They are saying you to do what is written in NBC and what is the ideal way of doing construction. Now you are not doing that, and for doing that, your cost is increasing, and you are perceiving that that cost increase is not the right thing. Right? So, underdoing and then doing the right thing, you are finding it as a cost is something which needs to be. We need to educate ourselves. We need to educate in totality the construction industry as such. So, I would say in your first question was that what is the policy level change? So my suggestion is that we are so many construction professionals sitting over here. We are people who are decision makers, who are influencers within our own company. It should be within ourselves. We should look into that. And Suraj mentioned few policies. You mentioned few things which probably we are not aware of, or everybody is not aware of. So as a group of people, we can understand that, okay, these are the 5 things. If we just implement these 5 things, we will make a huge amount of difference in construction industry as a totality. So I think as people sitting over here, we should do something like that. This discussion should not just end over here. We should continue, and as I would say, as Agni or as Nikmar, as a fraternity of, I mean, we are 10,000 plus people, or in totality 18,000 plus people who have passed out from Nikmar and are doing good in the industry. We have a huge influential power. We should utilize that.
Absolutely. So I think Agni, I'm sure you'll be coming out with the report after this, and we can perhaps give the suggestions to the government.
So I mean, that is appeal to everybody sitting out here. That I mean, it should not be just a discussion over here. It should be something culminating into something fruitful.
Tangible, right. Mukesh, you have the last word now. So what is one policy reform that you would recommend for the construction industry?
I say the already reform is going on, that is green building for sustainable construction. So I say in this also there is a energy efficiency which is required, because nowadays renewable power is growing big way, and we have lot many places where we need to think about it. The major part where I say green building aspect is coming out is the entire phase or entire cycle of a structure, I say, till it is dismantled. Okay, so design till dismantling, the aspect is there. But what I feel is the construction part, construction phase, that phase is somewhere not properly taken care of. Therefore, the grab and all this coming in picture. If we have taken that in good way or enforced in good way, definitely there is a chance that this situation of grab may not arrive, or maybe not for 60 days time. I have gone through one study, and it was understood that 40% of energy is consumed by building sector, and out of which around 30% is carbon footprint or CO2 emission is from building sector itself. So that is what the scenario in global way. So if we could focus and reduce it by 1 or 2% only, that also give a, ultimately when we produce energy or electricity, that giving a more carbon footprint out. Okay, if we reduce it by 1% even, so we are making environment or sustainable, more sustainable to the world. So that is what I say, ki the focus on energy saving or using appliances which are energy saving, using the renewable power, even at a construction time also. That way it should be good and making better.
I think this budget also talks about carbon capture and storing, a 20,000 crore budget. We need to, please.
I think SDG, the Sustainable Development Goal, if you see there are, in construction industry, there are around 7 items where we can work out.
Okay.
And that is a good part if someone start working for one SDG only. So there is a lot of scope of giving greener or better India.
Sure.
See, while we are discussing the topic of sustainability, there is one thing which construction industry in India is not focusing on right now, is the embodied carbon of the construction, which Britain and UK are very evolved in that, and their buildings are going for net zero carbon certification, wherein while construction, the embodied carbon, they are trying to bring it to zero.
Okay.
Which for us is many times of what they are doing right now. So we are right now only at the green building certification, which is operational green building, but not in the construction. During construction, reducing the net embodied carbon in the building.
So there's a lot we can talk about this. We can go on and on, but we need to end this session. So it was a very interesting session. I hope all of you were able to sensitize yourself to all the 3 aspects of GRAP, Grameen, and public policy. Enjoy this session. I hope you all did as much as I did and as much as the panelists did. Thank you all, a wonderful panel, and thank you for your inputs. Thank you so much.
Thank you. you also for good hosting.
Thank you so much, and I kindly request you to stay. May I now request Mrs. Sushma Kulkarni to please join us on stage for the felicitation ceremony. Let's felicitate our panelist as well as our moderator. And thank you so much for the lovely, lovely session. Here we go. First, I kindly request Mr. Suraj to please move forward. Can we have once again big round of applause, all of you? Next, I kindly request Ms. Shruti Arora to please move forward. Once again, put your hands together, all of you. Next, I request Mr. Mukesh to please move forward. Mr. Manan Gupta. Talia, talia, talia. And yes, our moderator, Ms. Vinita Hariharan. Big round of applause. Thank you for conducting the session so well. Thank you so much. Let's have a group picture. And after this, we have our gold sponsor address. I kindly request D-Nova to please join us. Anyone from D-Nova to please join us. We have gold sponsor address. Are they here? Okay, since they are not here, I kindly request our platinum sponsor, officebandao.com, to please join us. I kindly request Mr. Mayank Kumar, Enterprise Sales Manager, to please join us on stage for the address. Over to you.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks a lot for being patient and showing up on Saturday for this event. Myself, Mayank Kumar Singh. I'm working as Enterprise Sales Manager, proudly at Office Manao. This presentation consists of 3 parts: company profile, technology, what exactly Tushar Mittal in the morning session touched upon. I do have some live demonstration to showcase on the same. And then end of the day, executed projects. So Office Banao, as the name itself says, we just make office spaces. There were time like where we were brainstorming, ghar banao, dukaan banao, yeah, office banao. The company got founded exactly after the COVID second lockdown, when there was a culture of remote office spaces, and we projected what will happen when people will start coming back to the office. Everyone want to be the next Google, next TCS, next Fortune 500 company. But can anyone afford those budgets, those infrastructure? And over there, we found that true potential in brick and mortar business of Office Now. So it's a very much tech-enabled company. We don't only say tech. Day in, day out, we hardcorely use it. Our company strength is almost 450 people, consists of architects, designers, and a lot of techie people, project management. So it's end-to-end one solution, what we provide to our client. These are some of the numbers, as I said. Of course, also Tushar Mittal himself is the MD of SKV and Office Now too. After him, there are some of the leadership team, which is we all are working together. As soon as we receive the requirement, we do design basis on our in-house some of the tech tools, be it mood board, spatial layout. And I'm proud to say we also give one of the very detailed costing, even from skirting to laminate to modular furniture. And we also happen to have a 1 acre in-house factory for modular furnitures and end of the day execution. So in a nutshell, these are the core pillars which often complete the life cycle of any design and build office. These are some of the additional tech modules what we regularly use. Space evaluation, some of the configuration in terms of design process, and then timely progress. Technology, experience, and end of the day ecosystem. Our headquarters is in Gurgaon, and we also have second offices in Bangalore. That's our in-house furniture factory. Some of the craftsmen, some of the machines. And also, I'm proud to say we are only one of the design and build service provider who have our own experience center in Udyog Vihar. The beauty of our nature of business is we try to optimize all the pain points under one roof. So just over a lunch, our client can close the design freezer, and then eventually that can increase the TAT, and by the final successful handover of the project too. Other than design build, these are some of the additional services. Regularly working with some of the Fortune 500 companies and upcoming startup. These are some of the compliance what we follow. Some of the projects specifically deliver at DLF premises, knowing the fact DLF, they happen to have one of the strongest compliance and regulations. As I mentioned, headquarters is in Gurgaon, second office is in Bangalore, but still we are managing the same USP, the same process, which is making us execute project in second and third tier cities pan-India too. And then some of the projects zone-wise has been mentioned. These are some of our proudly associated and executed clientele for us, Mercer, Reliance, and many others. Now, interesting part in terms of AI. So that's something I'm more passionate myself. So we happen to have our in-house portal called Workbench, which includes the tech, design, procurement, project management, everything, and timely progress updates can be seen. So idea of we making this single platform is all the stakeholders within our organization are responsible enough to do their KPIs. No more WhatsApp follow, no more email, coordination. Everyone can see what's happening on the project. So for example, let's say these punch dates are being mentioned, and of course we aggressively also educate our on-ground workforce to utilize these softwares. It's their duty; they have to come every day and punch their progress, which can be seen by the designer real time. This is the render, and that's the ongoing progress. And then a few of the snag list, yes, no, yes, no. So everything we tried to optimize. We did try to make it more technical enabled. Then some of the additional software called Metaport, which scans that LiDAR 3D, uh, uh, configuration basis. So yeah, be it measurements, be it timely progress, we can do anything, everything. These are some of the executed project which I really wanted to showcase on Metaport, which I can if time permits. Last but not least, as things are easier to say and harder to done, these are some of the executed and ongoing project what we are working pan India. Fanatics, they are one of the American athletic brand. Given that as GCC India has been announced, so we are proudly working for them. Even the scale of the project is quite interesting. Graviton, it's happening in Gurgaon. CAM, one of the India's top-notch legal firm. D-Shaw. Then again, these are some of the projects what we have proudly worked. Sumadra, Karyan Infotech, DLF, Homes themselves. So yeah, just to say the furnitures and everything, it's in-house. Lightspeed themselves, Metcell, or one of the beautiful project on PB steel structure building. Kundan, Vedanta, GT, and so on and so forth. I'll also just quickly pull this screen of mine if I can do that. So this is our workbench setup, and this was something which was kind of a groundbreaking for all of us. Overall, the projects are happening, leads, and everything. Though I have already opened the tab in the interest of the time and also the engagement. So let's say one of this tab is known as DAM, Data Asset Management. Simultaneously, almost 50 designers are working on the mood boards. All of those are getting reposited in our centralized system. And as you guys can see, 21 hours ago, be it any design, anything our TAT is quicker and faster. So that is kind of efficiency and the experience what we are proudly giving to our client. Of course, anyone can build office, but the way we are trying to sanitize and build it is something really different and really passionate. So this is one of the project, DXC. Matterport was something what Tushar Mittal did mention. So I can just quickly walk through. Yeah. So it's again more of a gamification, but again real time. Be it in terms of the quality, the design essence, DXC, they are I think one of the top-notch ITS based company. So after the execution, we did try to map this down, and the way project came out again, quite interesting to look at. Different floors, different finishing, ceilings, and many other things to explore. So yeah, I think more or less this was about us. If anyone wants to connect, you are more than welcome to scan a code and I can reach out. So yeah, if anyone has any kind of question, I'll be happy to answer or suggest or comment. Yeah, please. We are in fact we are also on the like in process to work on a planner, like a 3D planner. We're just trying to mitigate how the orthodox softwares, like let's say for example AutoCAD or any other drafting tools, we are trying to replicate and make our in-house. So same way also for the 3D, we are in the process to like make something out of it. Yeah, because rendering is again one of the very like time consuming effort to navigate. But the beauty always lies how our designers and we can capture the client's brief, the client's understanding and the requirement in a one or two meetings. So that is something nice to catch. Anyone else? I know room is almost 50-70%, but yeah, still appreciating the time who's staying and showing the respect. So yeah, I think no questions. So yeah, it was pleasure to present. Thank you everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Now we are moving ahead with our next segment, that is Agni initiatives and vision. Innovation begins with intent, and intent transforms into impact through vision. To present the initiatives and long-term vision of Agni, I invite Mr. Manan Gupta to take the stage. Let's get started, everyone. Can we have once again big round of applause? I want to see the energy. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon. May I request my dear friends who are outside, somebody can call them in, because this is something which they should be knowing. By the time we have more people coming in, people are busy doing networking. Yeah, so this is the first time we are having this North Conclave. We had previously various events which has happened in Delhi, but this is the first time we are having North Conclave, which is for the entire North region together. Yeah. Great. So let me just give you a brief background about Agni. Agni is Association of Global Nikmarian. All of you might be knowing, but some of you might not be knowing, because everybody is just knowing the abbreviation that is Agni. So full form is Association of Global Nikmarian. It started in 2018 by just a thought that we don't have a platform for Nikmarians all over to come and connect with each other. With that thought, it started with forming a WhatsApp group, and that WhatsApp group happened into be 18 WhatsApp group in a 3 days time back in 2018, connecting 3,000 Nikmarians all over a WhatsApp group. And that brought a humongous amount of responsibility on initiators of Agni, that we need to make this platform bit more responsive, bit more official. So we reached out to Nikmar at that time, that we have so many Nikmarians coming together, and can we have this as an official alumni body? That time, then DG Professor Dr. Korgaonkar, he was very well fascinated with the idea, and he told definitely we should be having it. And that's how in 2019 Agni got incorporated as an official alumni body of Nikmar. It got incorporated as a Section 8 company. We launched the Agni app in 2019. Presently, we have 9,000 plus Nikmarians connected over the platform. When I am talking about Nikmarians is a broad term because we have all sort of people who have passed out from Nikmar. But presently, Agni is on campus full-time people who have passed out. They are presently connected over Agni. We are in discussion and thought process that we need to be getting added other people as well who have passed out from NICMAR in other sort of courses like distance education or online education. NICMAR is doing NICMAR online as well. So that is presently in discussion, and we might have that also as part of Agni in times to come. But presently this is the thing. Last year we have got the elected steering committee in place through a proper election process, and presently we and as a result of that we Agni and NICMAR has been doing a lot of work together. This particular event is an outcome of that. In past we have done a number of events together. Almost this is we have done around 30 plus events in India, 10 plus event internationally. Breakfast meets have been happening. This is a bit old data. 25 plus breakfast meets have been done. But in last 2 months alone, another 10 breakfast meets have happened. So these meets are one of the platform where we are encouraging people, NICMARians, to come together in a small group and network with each other, have connects within each other. We had 25 webinars which happened during the COVID times. We had done 3 times Ideathon. Today morning there was some discussion that are we doing something for entrepreneurs or not. So 3 times we have done Ideathon, where I mean one of the winners, Mr. Pratik, who was a participant of Ideathon, and he was also there as third person who had come in Ideathon. So that is a platform which we are wanting to strengthen. Intent is to create a pool of fund by which we can do angel investing sort of thing for upcoming startups which are coming up from NICMAR fraternity. So definitely we need an internal discussion within ourselves and with the NICMAR Institute as well. So how we can do that. As an outcome of this, there are more than 4,500 people till now who have met one-on-one basis in person. We are connected over WhatsApp group, definitely, but in-person connection makes a whole lot of totally different thing, and that has happened through these events. These are some of the pictures of previous events which has happened. So what we are looking at in future, we are wanting the Agni app to be the main platform. We are connected through WhatsApp group, but we are wanting Agni app to be the main platform. So just to inform you, there have been internal discussion that we are looking at complete rehaul of the Agni app. Presently, it is a platform which is conceptualized in 2019, 7 years have passed, and probably we might be having a completely inbuilt app within by Agni in totality. Presently it is on a subscription based model, but we might be having it conceptualized and develop it within ourselves. So probably a lot of you might be facing certain amount of issues, but we are in a thought process of addressing all those things at one go. So in another 2-3 months, we should be having an outcome of that. So I won't take much time. This photograph shows This is a photograph of the first meet global event which happened in 2018. From then to now, we have we have taken a long path, but still a long path to go. We have an immense amount of potential within ourselves. It is very important that we as a platform, it should not just end as a networking platform or just a platform for one Nikmarian to talk to each other. It should a platform where we have actually the potential to change the entire construction industry. We are the people who are leading the industry, but are we doing appropriate justice to the industry? The potential what we have within ourselves, we need to really work upon it, and that is where the next move of Agni will be, where we are wanting all of you, whatever you think is possible, that there should be a change in the industry. What everybody, all of you might be thinking, ये होना चाहिए या ये होना चाहिए, जो होना चाहिए आपको जो लगता है वो होना चाहिए. तो we will create a platform where your thoughts can come, and as a collaborative effort we can put it at various platforms, various forums. We are in the process of signing various MOUs with various government and private bodies who are doing thought policy advocacy at various levels. So we have that potential to do it ourselves and take it to that level, and that is where our next move will be. So with such a beautiful network which we are having, this is the image what you can see has been taken from the Agni app, where you can see each Nikmarian, where each Nikmarian is located, you can see on the app, and you can identify the coordinates of that. So I mean, if you are going to any particular location, you will be able to find that who is the Nikmarian which is around me, and you will be able to connect. So with such a beautiful network, the potential is huge, and we need to utilize that potential. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
I would request Suraj to come on stage. We want to felicitate our esteemed faculties. So, yeah, ma'am, please. Yeah. Yeah. Ma'am, if you can take a moment of Koner sir as well. He had come, but he had to leave today morning. So, yeah. Janardhan Koner sir. Dr. Vandana, she is there? Yeah, Vandana ma'am. Mr. Rajesh Goyal, is he there? Or yeah, you changed the place, so I was. Ganguly sir is there? Smita madam? Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now we have award ceremony lined up. We now move on to the award ceremony. I kindly request Dr. Vandana, Head Alumni Relations, to please join us. One, two.
Yeah, good afternoon all. Uh, this is one initiative what Nikmar University has started. So we have been now declaring few of the distinguished alumni awards, and for North Conclave also we have called for the nominations. Generally this is for the alumni for recognizing their exemplary leadership, innovation and meaningful impact in their profession and communities. Here we have two categories of awards. One is the Star Award and second is the Rising Star Award. We had been called nominations, and as per the nominations, today we are just declaring those two categories awards. But before that, I request our VC madam, Sushma madam, to come up on the stage, and Rajesh Goyal sir, Dr. Rajesh Goyal sir. So starting with the first Star Award, may I call Mr. rather than Mr. Colonel Soumendra Banerjee. Soumendra Banerjee, yeah. Congratulations, sir. So there is a medal as well as the award. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You want to speak something?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, made my not day, I would say made my year. Yes, it's thank you so much. It's such a warm. I was not expecting this at all, and thank you. And yes, accomplishment has been a bit. So I'll just speak about what I have done. So the forum knows that what Indian Army is doing, Corps of Engineers is doing, which I was part of it. So being a part of Corps of Engineers, I was on deputation to Border Road Organization for 12 long years, wherein I had the opportunity to give connectivity to Kailash Mansarovar Yatra route. And I was the famous or the infamous. After that, Nepal came into the Kalapani row, wherein I was attached with the Prime Minister's office for good about 6 months, give a lot of strategic decisions, which is being implemented right now. Apart from that, I am the only certified bridge inspector in India. I am qualified from US, and I have done the entire bridge mapping of Border Road Organization. Apart from that, you will find my name in a couple of IS codes. I am in part of B5, B3, H5, G5 committee, which is coming up with about 10 to 12 codes, IRC codes. Thank you so much, making me feel alive, come back to the corporate. Thank you so much, thank you.
So next for the Star Award, Mr. Nitin Raparia. Congratulations, sir. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we move on to Rising Star Award. The first award for this Rising Star, of course, this is not in any order. It is just Mr. Sohit Mendirita. Good. Done. Rising Star. Yeah. Thank you. Congratulations, Rohit. Yeah, but time. Yeah. We will see.
So in brief, I'll start that I did my bachelor's in Delhi itself. After that, I got to work with Nikmar as a postgraduate management student, not a trainee. So I started my career in Delhi itself with Colliers International. I did almost 5 years as a associate working over there, and then I moved into project coordination, then project coordinator manager. Then I transitioned into 8 years as a planning manager. I've been working there for almost 2 years, and recently I have transitioned into PwC as a senior consultant. So thank you so much.
The next award is for Mr. Shivam Goyal. Yeah. He will speak on what achievement he has.
So I started my career with Mr. Tushar sir only at officebanao.com. Then afterwards, I started my own venture. It's been 2.5 years, and we are doing construction consultancies in architecture, interior, and control audits also. So diversifying the portfolio, currently we are specialized in ultra HNIs, residentials, and corporate fit-outs projects. Apart from that, I just started a new venture in a healthy wellness living with a cafe, and just going with the healthier choices to provide to the community. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Last but not the least, Rising Star Award, Mr. Himank Chawla. Thank you. You want to speak something?
No.
Speak something.
So I'm probably the youngest lot of the alumni here with Rajat and Ayush being here. So I started in the family-owned construction business, but then I ventured out into creating my own project management consultancy firm. Right now, one of the biggest projects which I'm doing is a 750-bedded hospital coming up in Mohali, which is the largest private hospital in entire of North India. And the other achievement is my dad's company, our business, did the waterproofing work at the Ram Mandir Ayodhya. So the entire premises, if you visit, the entire waterproofing work has been done by my company, and we have been doing there for almost 3 years now. So that is one of the most prestigious projects for the company and for the nation it was. So Jai Shri Ram to all.
Thank you. One more special award. This is, we call it as Pillar of Nikmar. And for this particular event, the award we are giving it to Mr. Arvind Singhal. This is specifically for all his efforts and hard work to make this event successful, the coordination, whatever he has done. So a big round of applause for him. Single-handedly, he has managed this. Surprise you. Congratulations. Yes, that's it. We are completed with the awards. Thank you all.
So I request Dr. Vantana once again to deliver the vote of thanks. And here we go.
Yes, this is again on behalf of Nikmar. It is my privilege to stand here in front of you and to give a vote thanks note to you all. First of all, I would just like to thank the organizing team, the volunteering team actually. Can we have them here on the stage, volunteering team? Manan sir?
Yeah, Arvind, come again. Aman. And Siddharth. We have Piyush as well and Saurabh as well. Both of them are not here. Saurabh is getting married, so he had to got stuck somewhere, and Piyush had to rush to his native place because his father was unwell.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Ma'am, if you can. Aman. Yeah. So thank you, Aman. It was great. He was the person who was managing the entire sponsorship team, all coordinating with all the sponsors. Thank you, Siddharth. He was the one who was coordinating with all the speaker, panelists and everybody and handling the entire flow of the event. And Arvind, from starting to end, he was handling all the event management and everything. So these are the, I would say, 3 pillars on the basis of which this event has come up in such a successful manner. I hope it was successful. I mean, your clap will show whether it was successful or not. And we were able to finish 20 minutes before time.
So it is highly successful.
Yeah, so request all of you to come ahead. We'll be having group photograph. And anybody is wanting to share something.
Yes.
We
feedback,
have time.
something to share for the event or future events also.
Yeah,
we are welcome. We may welcome that also.
Anybody is wanting to share, I mean, we can give the.
Okay, on behalf of Nikmar University and the entire Agni team, thank you for being a part of this transformative conclave. May the conversation started today evolve into collaborations tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening and safe travels, everyone. Also would like to thank all our sponsors. Yes, our platinum sponsor, Office Banao, gold sponsor, The Nova, Messen AI, and our silver sponsor, Xpexel Manager and Brenman. Thank you so much once again to all our sponsors. Can we have big round of applause for all our sponsors? Thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us. And I kindly request all of you, please join us for a group picture. This was your host for today, Ankita Mandal, signing off. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot to Ankita, you as well, for coordinating the entire event. Thanks a lot. Yeah.